local all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
And right now at 6 o'clock, it's not just that more catalytic converters are getting stolen. It's that the thieves seem to be getting bolder. We'll tell you what one witness said happened when she was just trying to be a good citizen.
And due in court, a man accused of shooting a police officer in New Haven expected to face a judge. The latest ahead for you.
Also, it's Turnout Tuesday, and we're talking politics, how you can find common ground with people you don't agree with politically.
Good morning. It's Tuesday. Thanks so much for starting yours off with us here, Fox 61 America Areas.
And I'm Tim Leverage. Good morning to you. Meteorologist Matt Scott, the third member of our team, joining us right now to talk about the forecast. Good morning. What's going on?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Back to you. No,
Okay.
It's a good looking day. There's nothing to worry about. That's what we like to do. We always like to encourage this kind of behavior from the weather. Doesn't happen that often. Good morning. Couple clouds out there, but we're burning them off quickly. Today and tomorrow are the picks of the week, and do have some rain to talk about in the 7-day. We'll show you that coming up. I've been watching the visibility near the rivers, valley areas, not seeing anything. It's been wavering in Danbury. 3 miles is fine. And a couple of minutes ago, Hartford was at 1.5 miles, so it's improved. There's not a lot is what we're saying there. Temperatures between 39 in Danbury and Willimantic, up to 49 right now in New Haven, 43 in the capital city, Hartford, right now. And as you can see, off towards the west, there's nothing going on. Clear skies abound. Really nice day ahead. Fast warm up into the mid to upper 60s. Some of you will have a run at 70 degrees later on this afternoon with the loads of sunshine. Talk about the warmth and the cool down and the rain too. That's all coming up in the big forecast. So let's go to the roads right now. Our Monday for many people after a holiday yesterday. What's on the roads waiting for the folks?
As of right now, Matt, not too much, which is some good news here in the Fox 61 Traffic Center. Do want to mention, my producer just told me that our traffic cameras are down, so don't mind the traffic cones that you're going to see on the screen in just a moment. Let's bring it out to one area of a closure that we are still following. This is Route 44 over in Canton, right on the New Hartford town line. There is an overturned motor vehicle, so they have closed this for the investigation at this time. In the Hartford area, 91, 84, Route 2, all looking good. We're seeing some delay on 5 and 15, but that has since cleared now that construction is cleared for the morning. Don't mind my traffic cones. We're just going to pass by those. In the New Haven area, 91, 95 in both directions looking good. And as we move further south towards the New York state line, those delays start to develop in the Bridgeport to Fairfield areas. We take a live look out in Fairfield, just a little bit heavier volume on the roads. Overall, really not too much to complain about. We'll check in on the roads coming up in the next 30 minutes, guys.
And Lauren, thank you. Yeah, 6:03. We have breaking news overnight. A 12-year-old boy from Hartford is missing. Police sent out a silver alert for Aiden Rodriguez. He's been missing since yesterday and was last seen wearing a black face mask, a black hoodie sweatshirt, pants, and a fanny pack. If you recognize Aiden or you think you know where he is, please call the Hartford Police. Well, today, the jury is set to resume deliberating in the Alex Jones defamation trial. Their first full day of deliberations was Friday. Remember, Jones was already found liable for defamation, so at this point, jurors are just deciding how much the families of the Sandy Hook victims and one FBI agent should get in compensation. There is no limit on damages for hurtful and unscrupulous business practices under the Connecticut Unfair Trade Practices Act.
Also happening today, a man accused of shooting a New Haven police officer last Friday is expected to appear in court. Jose Claudio is facing several charges, including assault in the first degree, assault of a public safety officer, and unlawful discharge of a firearm. Police say Claudio shot at Officer Chad Curry after Curry was called to the scene for a single car crash early Friday morning. Officer Curry then returned fire with the suspect and was later treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Police say they located the suspect at a home in Hartford later that afternoon. And also due in court, a former interim principal and math interventionist at the Plymouth Center School. Rebecca Holleran is accused of failing to report allegations of abuse as a mandated reporter. Her and her other 3 former staff members accused of failing to report allegations of sexual misconduct by former teacher James Escher at the Plymouth Center School.
Well, today, 2 people accused of robbing a man they met on the internet are due in court. Cromwell police said the man was robbed while trying to sell the suspects a pair of shoes at River Center Plaza on Berlin Road. They said the victim wasn't hurt. Now, while this didn't involve any of the businesses in the complex, we did speak with some of the owners and some customers who said they're concerned.
I'm shocked and worried. This is a peace parking lot, peace town, and now we have to watch and make sure what's going on around me.
My parents live in the area, so it's not thrilling because, you feel like you move to a safe place. And I mean, I know that things happen wherever you go, but you hope that wherever you are is going to be the places around you are safe.
We've been told, as of right now, there are no security cameras that capture the parking lot of that complex. But keep in mind, there are tips that police recommend if you want to do any safe online exchanges. The first, of course, is to always meet up in a public place like, say, the Cromwell Police parking lot. Police said you can use it for transactions if you want. Also, bring a buddy with you if you're buying or selling anything. Don't carry any large amounts of cash or anything valuable that could be stolen. If something seems off, trust your gut. Get out of there. And if you do get robbed, God forbid, call police as soon as you safely can.
This morning, the witness of a catalytic converter theft in Guilford is speaking with Fox 61 exclusively about what she saw. Police say several masked suspects stole the catalytic converters off an employee's car. This happened at a vet's office on the Post Road. A customer of the veterinary hospital who was sitting in her car at the time says that she witnessed the crime and took pictures.
And then they looked and they saw me taking pictures and they saw me making the phone call. So they drove by my car very close by and they jumped out of the car and just started smashing the windows with myself and my animal in the car.
Police say the suspects were driving a silver Honda Accord that had stolen plates and damage to the left front driver's side and rear passenger side. And it also had dark tinted windows. To help lessen your risk of becoming victim to a crime like this, police suggest that you reach out to your mechanic. Right now at 6, a Middlebury Dog Rescue is pleading with the community after announcing that it needs to close its doors until further notice. Brass City Rescue Alliance posted on Facebook that because of medical circumstances out of their control, they need to close their doors. Now that means that every dog at the shelter has to be adopted or go into foster care. If you're looking to adopt, we have a link of adoptable dogs for you on our website. The Brass City Rescue Alliance says it expects to resume operations by May of next year.
Well, as the temperatures continue to drop, health experts are reminding you to go out and get your flu and your COVID shots. Here in Connecticut, only about 6% of the people who got their first 2 COVID shots have wound up getting the updated booster. Experts say it's important to be up to date because we're dealing with more contagious strains of COVID now. So anybody 12 and up who got their last COVID vaccine or booster at least 2 months ago is eligible for this updated COVID shot.
What's different about this booster is that it does take into account the new Omicron variant, which has been going around, especially in Connecticut, but everywhere in the United States.
And the booster shots are widely available, and the Department of Public Health's mobile vaccine clinics are operating all over the state every day. Doctors also want you to keep in mind there's the potential for a worse than average flu season, so they're recommending getting your flu shot as well. And yes, remember, you can save some time by getting them both at the same time.
Stop killing Ukrainians! Stop killing Ukrainians!
Outside the Russian embassy in Washington, D.C. Monday evening, chanting and waving the Ukrainian flag. The protests are sparked by Putin's latest escalation of the war, launching devastating missile attacks on Ukrainian cities. And new this morning, a senior Russian diplomat issuing a new warning to the U.S. and Western allies about supporting Ukraine. Russia's deputy foreign minister says that support could lead to an open conflict with Russia. However, he said that Russia doesn't want a direct conflict with America or NATO members. Meantime, President Biden's team is joining the international chorus against Russia's latest actions yesterday. The president condemned Monday's attacks, saying America will continue to impose costs on Russia for this type of aggression. He spoke with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. During the call, Biden pledged to continue supporting Ukraine, including with air defense systems. Senator Richard Blumenthal also weighing in on the situation in Ukraine. Blumenthal calling for additional ammunition, arms, and humanitarian aid to be sent to Ukraine. The senator taking to Twitter, saying in part, Putin's massive bombing of Ukrainian civilians, savage criminal terrorism, requires a robust response, beginning with major shipments of more air defense systems.
Now, Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy also talked about the situation in Ukraine and Poland during a town hall he held last night after his recent trip to the Warsaw Security Forum there in Poland. Here's just a bit of what he had to say.
This is a really volatile time with the Ukrainians showing so much progress, starting to really back Vladimir Putin into a corner. We all worry about him doing something really desperate, and the vague references to tactical nuclear weapon usage in Ukraine, something we all have to pay attention.
Senator Murphy said there was a good turnout for that meeting last night. He also said Poland is electric right now, in his words. He said they've stepped up in a big way by hosting refugees from Ukraine. Also, any of the weapons and funding from the U.S. that are being sent to Ukraine are going through Poland first.